Howdy! In this video, I will show you how to connect to the FASTR cluster at Texas A&M University. This video is for ACES users who will be using the jump host method in Windows PowerShell and need to be opening ports in a tunnel so that you can use Jupyter and other server applications. A prerequisite of this video is already having the ability to log into FASTR via the jump host method. You can see here that I have successfully logged into FASTR via the jump host method. Once you have done this, you need to check your ID number. Simply execute the ID-U command to see your ID number. My user ID number is 5013. Simply remember that number for later. You can now log out. I have returned to my Windows PowerShell. I'm ready to connect to FASTR. The syntax for connecting to FASTR via the jump host method looks like this. You can learn more about how that works in our other video. However, in order to use Jupyter Notebook and other server applications, you need to be able to open ports through a tunnel. So we need to add the additional syntax -L, which states that we're going to be creating a tunnel and opening some ports. At this point, you need to remember your user ID number. We will be opening the port associated with your user ID number so that there won't be a risk of collision between you and some other user who wants to do the same thing. Every user has a unique ID number. The syntax is your port, the word localhost, and then your port again. Once you have added the -L port localhost port flag to your SSH command, you're ready to log in to FASTR via the jump host. Once you are logged into FASTR, you need to have a notebook job running in the batch system. Where does such a job come from? I will show you an example. In my Scratch directory, I have created a job file which I can show you to help you understand how to launch Jupyter Notebook on the FASTR cluster. In this job file, we have some normal-looking Slurm batch commands. If you want to learn more about Slurm commands, visit our wiki or watch some of our other videos. The actual job script itself loads a module named IPython that has Jupyter Notebook installed and then launches Jupyter Notebook. In addition to launching Jupyter Notebook, we need to specify a port. We will be using the same port we used before. In fact, in this example script, I am recomputing the port by executing ID-U again. This should yield the same number that I showed you on the previous page, which in my case will be 5013. I've also set port retries equal to 0 to prevent a Jupyter Notebook from selecting a different port. This will help to prevent accidents where your port is not equal to the one you wanted and you're confused what happened. You can submit the job using sbatch, but I've actually already done that. So you simply observe that the job is running by checking the Slurm queue. My job is running, and it is in fact running on the node named FC007. Currently, our port tunnel is not complete because the port tunnel takes us from our personal computer to the login node. We need a second port tunnel to go from the login node to the compute node. The syntax is a little bit simpler. SSH, we're going to be using the -4 flag to specify that the ports will be in the IP version 4 Internet Protocol rather than version 6. We will be adding the L flag again with the same syntax. Your port, localhost, your port again. And then finally, we'll be logging into the target node that was assigned your job in Slurm, FC007. Now we have two tunnels happening. One tunnel that takes us from the personal computer to the login node, and a second tunnel that takes us from the login node to the compute node. It should be possible to open Jupyter Lab in a browser. How do we know how to open Jupyter Lab? Well, every server will tell you how to log into it, but in the case of Jupyter Lab, we nearly need to investigate the output of the job. Oops. So the output of the job was named Jupyter example.job55 and then the job ID number. We can see here that the Jupyter notebook is telling us how to log into it. We simply need to copy one of these URLs into our browser. Let me make sure I have it copied. Now I will paste the address I got from Jupyter into my browser. You'll see that the URL contains the port that we requested. This port is equal to my user ID number. The token is similar to a password. And now we have a perfectly good Jupyter notebook running in my browser on my local machine. But you can see here that the files are the ones that we remember seeing on disk at Faster. So anything that you do here affects the compute node on Faster, including things like executing code, creating files, etc.